Does US President Donald Trump really intend to get people out of Gaza to rebuild the place? Or is it part of a larger plan to displace Palestinians and strengthen the Israeli settlements? Hello and welcome. I'm Mark Lynn. Let's connect the dots. US President Donald Trump has a plan for Gaza. It involves relocating over 1 million Palestinians from Gaza to Jordan and Egypt. He believes this would allow Gaza to be rebuilt and provide Palestinians with a place to live in peace. However, this proposal has faced significant backlash, with critics labeling it as ethnic cleansing. Arab nations, including Jordan and Egypt, have rejected the idea. The plan has also been condemned by Palestinian leaders and international communities.
Because I'm looking at the whole Gaza Strip right now, and it's a mess. It's a real mess.
So you'd like Jordan to house people from
I'd like him to take people. I'd like Egypt to take people. I'm talking to General al-Sisi tomorrow, sometime I'm late. And I'd like Egypt to take people, and I'd like Jordan to take people. You're talking about probably 1.5 million people. And we just clean out that whole thing. It's over the centuries that's many conflicts that site, and I don't know. Something has to happen, but it's literally a demolition site right now. Almost everything's demolished, and people are dying there. So I'd rather get involved with some of the Arab nations and build housing at a different location where they can maybe live in peace for a change.
The idea has been suggested before. However, Arab countries like Egypt and Jordan have consistently refused to take in Palestinian refugees. They cite concerns about national security, potential political instability, and the fear of permanently altering their demographics. This reluctance has been a significant factor in the ongoing refugee crisis.
Actually, we rejected this, but this is not a personal. This is from the Egyptian president and from everyone, every citizen in Egypt. It's not acceptable to move the people from their land to the Egyptian territory, because the Palestinian case will be lost. And this is not our goal. This is not an international goal. But let me say that if any American announces something, it has to go through the Congress. Yeah. So it's just an announcement, and he said that he is going to talk to our president, and I think it didn't happen yet.
The exact number of Palestinian refugees in the West is unclear, but they often mobilize protests against Israel and the US. Activists, Palestinian diaspora, human rights organizations, solidarity networks, students, and concerned individuals from various backgrounds often join these protests. They are united by a common cause to advocate for Palestinian rights and raise awareness about the situation. Jordan too rejects Trump's proposal.
Our stance that the two-state solution is the path of achieving peace is firm and unwavering. Our rejection of displacement is also firm and unwavering. This is not only the steadfast and unwavering position of the kingdom, but it is also a necessity for achieving the security, stability, and peace that we all desire.
The connection between Palestinian refugees and the rise in Islamic militancy targeting Western countries is not immediately clear, but it would be a hasty generalization to presume most refugees are involved with such activities. But some militant groups like Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad, they have roots in the Palestinian cause. Militant groups often exploit the plight of refugees to recruit members and justify their actions. However, the broader issue of Islamic militancy involves various factors, including geopolitical tensions, socio-economic conditions, and ideological influences. There has been a noticeable rise in Islamophobia in the West. Incidents of harassment, discrimination, and violence against Muslims have increased significantly. UN experts have warned that Islamophobia has reached alarming levels globally. Hate crimes and anti-Muslim sentiment often surge following terrorist attacks or geopolitical events. All these stem from misunderstandings that can arise from positions expressed clearly, like that of the US president.
I think this dramatic statement from President Trump about transferring Palestinians from Gaza into Jordan and Egypt came in order to try to rescue Netanyahu from sinking in the sands of Gaza, because apparently Netanyahu has a big political dilemma with the day after of this war that he has been launching in Gaza. I think that the Palestinians in Gaza and in the West Bank and everywhere, together with the Jordanians and the Egyptians, will definitely reject this proposal, and I don't think that there is a place in reality for such an idea.
Israel's far-right parties, both within and outside the government, are thrilled by Trump's suggestion to relocate Palestinians from Gaza to Egypt and Jordan. This idea aligns with their long-standing advocacy. However, the proposal has faced widespread criticism across the region, being labeled as a potential second Nakba. Now, Egypt and Jordan, as we said earlier, have outrightly rejected this idea. The Nakba means catastrophe in Arabic, and it refers to the events of 1948 during the Palestinian War. Now, around 750,000 Palestinian Arabs were expelled or fled from their homes amid the conflict surrounding Israel's independence. This period involved mass displacement, destruction of villages, and widespread violence, resulting in a lasting impact on the Palestinian communities. It is commemorated annually on the 15th of May by the Palestinians.
The call by the US President to transfer the residents of Gaza Strip is not the first time that this arrogant US President has called for displacement and to empty the Gaza Strip of its population. These efforts come to strengthen the settlements in the Gaza Strip, but all these efforts end in failure in the face of the steadfastness of our Palestinian people and their great potential to remain on their land and hold on to it firmly. These futile attempts will not weaken the resolve of the Palestinian people, nor drive us away from our Palestinian land.
Jordan has its people, and Egypt has its people, and our land is here. Our land is Palestine, and we will not leave.
We say to Trump and the whole world, we will not leave Palestine or Gaza, no matter what happens. God willing, we will remain in Gaza. We will not leave Gaza or Palestine, no matter what Trump or the world says.
For years, Trump and Netanyahu have been dreaming of this deal, but it will never happen. Our people are steadfast.
Trump's recent statement about relocating Palestinians from Gaza to Egypt and Jordan has added more complexity to an already fragile ceasefire. Do his comments have the potential to undermine ongoing diplomatic efforts led by Qatar and Egypt in coordinating with Washington?
Our position has always been clear to the necessity of the Palestinian people receiving their rights and that the two-state solution is the only course forward in order to solve the Palestinian issue. We have always stood with our Palestinian brethren over this, and the positions are very clear.
The ceasefire deal, which was already facing significant challenges, now has to contend with increased regional tensions and mutual distrust between Israeli and Palestinian leaderships. The situation remains delicate, and Trump's remarks have certainly not made it any easier to maintain the ceasefire. Or has it been the plain speaking that this region actually needs to find a permanent solution? Time will tell. The global AI market today is largely dominated by a few US companies, for say Google or Microsoft. And of course, OpenAI, the creator of ChatGPT, gets the credit for bringing generative AI into the mainstream. Like you give a prompt, you have the solution instantly. But this month something happened that literally sent shockwaves through Silicon Valley. Stocks of global tech giants crashed, and all because of a Chinese AI startup, DeepSeek. Chinese startup DeepSeek released a new open-source artificial intelligence model called R1. It can reason in a human-like way, shaking up the market that is currently led by companies like OpenAI, Google, and Meta. DeepSeek has become the most downloaded free app in the US. Just a week after it was launched, it has also shot to the top of Apple Store's downloads. Investors around the world sold their tech stocks. They were worried that a new, cheap Chinese AI program could become very popular and challenge the big American AI companies that are currently in charge. US President Donald Trump described the emergence of DeepSeek as a wake-up call for the American tech industry.
The release of DeepSeek AI from a Chinese company should be a wake-up call for our industries that we need to be laser-focused on competing to win, because we have the greatest scientists in the world. Even Chinese leadership told me that.
But why has DeepSeek taken the tech world by storm? DeepSeek made waves because they say that this R1 model was built using less powerful and fewer computer chips than the ones used by the big US tech companies. DeepSeek also claims they spent less than $6 million on computing power to train their model. That's a tiny amount compared to the billions of dollars companies like Google, who made Gemini, or OpenAI, who made ChatGPT, spend on AI. The Chinese company claims its R1 is as good as or even better than the top AI models from America, like those from ChatGPT and Gemini, and in areas like mathematical tasks and general knowledge. Furthermore, it's way cheaper to use. DeepSeek R1 can cost 20 to 50 times less than OpenAI's models, depending on what you are doing with it. This Chinese startup suddenly popping up and competing with tech giants in Silicon Valley has everyone talking. It makes people wonder if the huge values of companies like Nvidia and Meta, who are big in AI, are actually realistic. This has raised questions about the future of the whole industry. And this caused some of the world's biggest companies to sink in value earlier this week. For example, Nvidia, which makes most of the computer chips used in AI. They saw their stock drop by a huge 17%, which is almost $593 billion in market value. Now listen to the views of experts on DeepSeek.
What's very innovative about the DeepSeek R1 model is that they first of all showed that you can train these very impressive reasoning models without any human supervision. So they're very, very good at mathematics, programming, and logic. And what's really exciting about these models is the first example we have of an open source model that is competitive or better than OpenAI's O1 model, which is currently one of the best models we have in the world.
DeepSeek's arrival happens at a time when President Trump has just announced a massive $500 billion private sector investment in artificial intelligence infrastructure. This move aims to outpace rival nations in this business-critical technology.
Today and over the last couple of days, I've been reading about China and some of the companies in China, one in particular, coming up with a faster method of AI and much less expensive method. And that's good, because you don't have to spend this much money. I view that as a positive, as an asset.
Trump said DeepSeek's technology should act as a spur for American companies. He acknowledged that it was good that companies in China have come up with a cheaper, faster method of artificial intelligence.
Well, this is very unusual when you hear a DeepSeek, when you hear somebody come up with something. We always have the ideas, we're always first. So I would say that's a positive. That could be very much a positive development. So instead of spending billions and billions, you'll spend less and you'll come up with, hopefully, the same solution.
DeepSeek's AI model is notable for its strong performance and open source nature, meaning anyone can use and build on it. Its emergence raises questions about US efforts to limit China's tech progress, particularly the ban on exporting advanced chips. These restrictions imposed by the former US President Joe Biden, and DeepSeek challenges the idea that only large budgets and top-tier chips can advance AI. When US companies use the latest NVIDIA H100 AI chips, DeepSeek use the older H800. Now, this chip has less bandwidth, But DeepSeek's engineers used clever coding to optimize performance despite its limitation. This approach has allowed them to develop their AI model much cheaper than the US competitors, likely due in part to the limited availability of advanced chips in China due to US restrictions. China considers AI a top priority, with President Xi Jinping emphasizing its importance. Startups like DeepSeek are key to China's shift from manufacturing goods like clothes and furniture to advanced technology like chips, electric vehicles, and AI. While government censorship presents a challenge for China's AI ambitions globally, DeepSeek's base model seems to be trained with censorship applied separately through a safeguarding layer. Listen to what experts have to say about this.
Chinese companies, even if they are relatively very independent, they're still within that legal structure, within that political system, and held. They're bound to expectations that go along with that. That it's hard for them to escape the expectations of censorship, especially around the central topics that the Chinese government is not in favor of.
Now, let's see who's behind DeepSeek. DeepSeek is based in Guangzhou in China. It was founded in December 2023 by Liang Wenfeng. They released their first large language model the following year. Guangzhou is sometimes called China's Silicon Valley. Liang, who graduated from Zhejiang University with degrees in electronic information engineering and computer science, has a background in finance. He is also the CEO of High Flyer, which is a hedge fund that uses AI for investment decisions, also called quantitative trading. In 2019, High Flyer was the first Chinese quant hedge fund to raise over 100 billion yuan. That's around $13 million. Now, Liang's recent appearance at a meeting hosted by the Premier Li Qiang highlights DeepSeek's growing importance in the AI sector. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman broke his silence on DeepSeek. He took to social media platform X and wrote, "DeepSeek's R1 is an impressive model, particularly around what they're able to deliver for the price." Sam Altman said it was invigorating to have a competitor. He also expressed confidence in his AI startup's ability to deliver better models. Howard Lutnick, whom Donald Trump chose to be US Commerce Secretary, claims DeepSeek was able to make a powerful AI program cheaply because they stole American technology and used advanced American computer chips.
DeepSeek, a Chinese AI, says they were able to create things dirt cheap. How? By leveraging what they've taken from us, stolen from us, or leveraged from us. It's outrageous, and it needs to be addressed.
US officials are examining the national security implications of DeepSeek, with the US Navy even warning its staff against using DeepSeek due to a potential security or ethical concern. Meanwhile, Microsoft and OpenAI are investigating whether DeepSeek-linked groups improperly accessed data from OpenAI's technology. Data safety experts also caution users about the tool's data collection practices, noting that personal information is stored on Chinese servers. DeepSeek, meanwhile, reports being the target of cyber attacks and recently limited registrations due to these attacks. The question now is whether DeepSeek's model will trigger an AI race between the US and China. Before we leave, let's take you to the Spring Festival Gala in China and Beijing, where humanoid robots took to the stage alongside their human counterparts for a dance performance. That's all in this edition of Connecting the Dots. We'll see you next week with more raging issues. Until then, it's goodbye from all of us here in the Delhi newsroom. This is Mark Lynn signing off. Take care and stay safe.